Have you guys ever made an impulse purchase? I know I've made plenty of impulse purchases, and it typically happens to me like this. I'm walking through the grocery store and I get up to the check stand and I look to my left and maybe there's a pack of gum and I'm smelling my breath and it smells bad because I've been wearing that mask, right? Or you look and there's some chips or there's a drink or there's a Snickers bar or whatever, and you make that impulse purchase. I know I've made plenty of those types of purchases. And the crazy thing to me is many people who are in business for themselves or who are in sales, they treat their sales process like they expect everyone to impulse buy from them. Now, today we're going to be talking about sales. Sales is such a big topic, but from my experience in over 6 years of running a business, we're going to talk about the top 3 most important tips I have for salespeople and how you can do better at sales. What's up guys, Jonathan Aymin here, and over the past 6 years I've run an event staffing company called Common Sense Events, and we do event staffing for specifically the event industry. And now we're supplying bartenders and servers, and one of the things that I've learned over the past 6 years is sales is the lifeblood of any business. If you as the owner or as one of the salespeople aren't completely and obsessively focused on your sales process, your business is going to be in serious trouble. And unfortunately, several different times I learned this the hard way. Now, today I want to share my 3 tips for sales. It's so tough to do this in 3 tips. This is not going to be comprehensive at all, but I hope you find some value from this. I'd love it if you subscribed and commented. And if you're a salesperson, please comment and let me know your favorite book on sales or person you follow. How about that? All right, so let's get right into it. Sales tip number 1. People can't buy from you unless they know you. Now, I want to go back to my little example in the beginning with the impulse purchases. They set up those little stands and those little opportunity buy areas there because they know that you're going to be walking through the check stand area as you check out. And so they're putting their products in there and they're merchandising those things in a way where you can actually go purchase them, right? You can go buy them. You can go feel hungry. You can, realize that you want that soda or that pack of gum or whatever, right? But they're positioning those things there, and it doesn't take a lot of knowledge up front to, be interested in that product, right? You're making an impulse, split-second decision to purchase that, pack of gum for $2 or whatever it is, right? Now, with sales, whether you're selling a course or a book or any online service or any in-person service, the discovery process that people take is rarely an impulse purchase situation, right? In staffing, people are making a purchase decision after doing research about our company, talking to their event planner, their wedding planner, whatever it is, right? And regardless of the industry you're in, there's going to be some level of discovery. You as a salesperson can't assume that people are going to buy from you if they don't know you and know a little bit about you. And so that leads us to the question, do people know you? Can they find out about you, right? Are you present? Are you visible online? Because that's where everyone is. And it's not just good enough to be present and visible online. Are you present and online in a mobile way, right? Is your website mobile friendly? Are you able to be reached out via social media, Twitter, email, right? Is it easy for someone to call and reach out if they have a question about a quote? Is your Yelp information updated? All these different things play a role in you being able to be a better salesperson. So keeping track of how you're doing in the reachability department, right? And actually just being able to offer your services is so important. So that's my first number 1 tip. Make sure people know about you, make sure they can know about you, and make sure you're as visible in as many of the places that are relevant to your industry as possible. Number 2, use empathy. Now, what do I mean by this? Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. I think it's far more important that someone uses empathy when they're thinking about sales rather than product knowledge. Now, you might be sitting there and taking a little, taking a little aback thinking about that, saying like, oh, wait, what? Like, rather not know about your product than not use empathy? But yes, sales is about understanding the problems that your customers and clients and guests have, and then knowing about the product or service you offer enough to show how it can meet their needs, right? You've got to use empathy first. And if you don't understand their problems and the hurdles that they're facing, whether it's in their business or their personal life, you're not going to be able to effectively communicate how the product or service you sell will fill their need. And so you first have to use empathy. You have got to make sure that you are understanding the problems they face, right? And you are putting yourself in their shoes, and then you're explaining how your product or service can address those needs. If you do it the other way around, people are going to be instantly disinterested because you're going to come off super tone deaf, just regurgitating a bunch of information about your company when you haven't even spent any time uncovering what makes them tick, what their problems are, and the issues that they're actually facing on a day-to-day basis. So that's number 2, use empathy. Number 3 is realize it's a relationship. Now, if you're out there in sales at all and you're in any sort of sales that has a long life cycle, right? I have a friend, he works in packaging. The life cycle of those business deals are very, very long. Some take up to 2-3 years even. And he may not close a deal for that length of time. So it's really, really important for him to develop the relationship. Now, of course, these deals are multi-million-dollar deals. And I think you see that more often. As the deals get bigger and bigger and bigger, the life cycle of the purchase takes a little bit longer. The relationship is more important. Now, this is not just for million-dollar deals though. You've got to realize that whether you're selling the person right away, you're selling the person in 6 months, you're offering your product or service and they say no, it's still a relationship, right? Just because they say no one time doesn't mean you either ignore them or just badger them a bunch with messages and emails and texts. No, you don't do that. You realize it's a relationship. You're dealing with another human being. They have problems, they have issues they're dealing. It may have just been the wrong time. You may have caught them in a weird cycle, right? You may have caught them, that other person that you're trying to talk to in that company, they may be on their way out. They may be about to quit, right? Again, this goes back to using empathy a little bit, but understanding the human behind who you're talking to, developing that relationship first and realizing that's the important part. It will allow you to transition on past that and be a master of your industry. It'll allow you to have opportunities that go way beyond just the initial sale you're trying to make. So having a good CRM system or really any sort of system. I mean, you could even use a pencil and paper notepad, which is not that great, right? But it would be better than nothing. And using that as a way to follow up with people, to jot down notes about the people that you talk to, it's such an important way to continue that relationship and make sure they understand that you're there for them. You're there to help solve their problems and fill the needs that they have, and so they can be successful. When you have that mentality, in my opinion, you really can't lose in sales. So anyway, that was my top 3 tips for how to be better at sales. I hope you guys liked this, and I'd love to hear what sales techniques you guys are using. I also want to make a more exhaustive video a little bit later on, more things that have helped me in my business, but I hope this helps you in your business. Leave some tips for me, some comments down below. I'd love to engage with you guys and chat. You can also hit me up on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Links for all that are in the description below. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you're thriving in your business, and reach out, let's chat. See you in the next video.